Welcome, and behold, another Baro Ki'Teer inventory. Unfortunately, today's inventory is not going to blow your mind. Right away, we've got Thermite Rounds and Scattering Inferno, and these two mods are much easier to get if you get them from Spy Vaults. They're a common drop, so I would highly recommend you do not buy these with ducats. These are both very good mods, but you should get them from Spy Vaults instead. You'll probably just have to do a few as you get through the star chart, and you'll probably get these that way. On the other hand, Prime Point Blank, our first buy for today. Prime Point Blank is an excellent mod that increases your shotgun damage by a lot. If you're going to invest in a legendary mod for shotguns, it should be this one first. However, if you're a newer player, I would recommend you skip this. It's a lot of resources, and this mod is far from necessary to make shotguns powerful. Just use normal Point Blank. Prime Fast Hands is also a good mod, but it's not very good on very many rifles, so I would highly recommend that you skip this unless you are a janky builder like I am. I quite like this mod, but it's not that good. It's not high value. And with those ducats you saved by not buying Prime Fast Hands, you can buy Prime Pistol Gambit. This is like one of the best Prime mods. If you're going to buy anything today, it should be this. This mod is really, really good. It scales pistols up really hard. And the other mod that makes pistols really good, which is Prime Target Cracker, depends on this mod because that's crit damage. So you should definitely get this. This could very well be a good first Prime mod for a newer player. Definitely pick this up. And the Prismagrakata. This is a fantastic weapon. It is rather similar to the Soma Prime, and I'll show you how it fires. As you can see, it deals with heavy enemies pretty well with its incredible status chance. This does have better status than Soma Prime, so it's going to armor strip dudes real well. It's also got a faster reload than Soma Prime, which you can feel. But otherwise, they're pretty similar. This is a very, very good rifle, though. As you can see, it handles these level 80 corrupted armored enemies very, very effectively. And here's the build I was just using. As you can see, we have Stabilizer and Argon Scope. Argon Scope is definitely not necessary, but very good on this weapon for really consistent crits. Stabilizer is more necessary. This weapon is pretty nasty recoil, so if you don't use Stabilizer, the recoil and the low accuracy will cause this nonsense and greatly reduce your DPS, even if your aim on the dot on your screen is perfect. So I do highly recommend that you run Stabilizer on this weapon, and then run a mix of status and normal damage alongside your crit mods. The Prisma Yamako Sayandana. This is a accessible Sayandana, so the normal Yamako Sayandana looks like this, and I don't think it looks bad. It fits nicely into the spines of a lot of Warframes. I just don't find that I'm ever reaching for this when I'm making fashion. I haven't really found an appearance I love it on yet. The Lizette Prisma skin. All of these Prisma ship skins are great, and this doesn't cost very much, so you should totally buy it if you want to make your loading screen pretty. Prisma Sigil, another definite buy for today. This is extremely cheap, and it looks really cool. That looks like this, a very nice looking sigil. As you can see, it's got this sort of fading into the distance like checkerboard pattern, which I think is really, really cool. Now personally, I do think this looks better upside down most of the time, and maybe a bit smaller, but otherwise I think it is a fantastic sigil. Looks really good under lots of chest armors. Really cheap pickup that looks real good. Grab it. Now I know what you're thinking, Baro's inventory is pretty good today, right? But like besides these, like this stuff is pretty good, right? Well, now it gets a bit worse. So here we have the set of beacons. Now Stalker Beacon, Grostark 3 Beacon, Zanuka Hunter Beacon, these are all one-use items that will summon these enemies in your mission if they can be summoned in that mission. However, Stalker is in missions all the time. This is kind of a waste. And Grostark 3 spawns readily when you're doing Law of Retribution, the first raid, so that's a bit of a waste. Zanuka Hunter is rather rare, so if you want to farm the Detron, which is a good secondary shotgun, this might be a good thing to pick up, but definitely do not buy these two. The Ki'Teer Kavad armor. I feel like we had this very recently. This is nice. It's got a weird little hump in the back that I don't know how I feel about, but I love the hat and I love the coat. I think this is pretty good. Even though Kavats don't have vacuum, they are pretty strong, so definitely pick this up if you're interested in Kavats. It's a bit expensive, but... And at last, we have the Zephyr Immortal skin. The Immortal skins are just reskins of a frame's body. They don't really change anything. They just make the textures be elsewhere. So I don't really like them very much. I think they're overpriced and they don't really fix Warframe's appearances that don't look good. And I don't think Zephyr's base skin looks that good. So I don't think you should buy this. It won't make you like her appearance if you did not like it before, in my opinion. Sands of Inaros is always a good quest to pick up if you do not have it. He brings this every week, but Inaros, the Warframe you get from this quest, is very, very good. So if you don't have him yet, get that. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope I made your shopping easier and saved you some ducats. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, and Patreon, all in the description. Subscribe if you had a good time, or to see this fashion, which I'm going to cover in a video tomorrow, has been heavily requested, and I'm finally going to give it to you. See y'all then.